It's been 4 months since I haven't been back at Blackwater after all the events that happened there. I might as well start from the beginning. Before I ever tracked down X13, the VIA ordered me to take him down, bring him in alive. Bringing him alive was just the first day because I negotiated with them, told them that we can reason with him. X13 was supposed to be my future self before I passed or before I die, where he takes my place and do other things like I always do. A deadly assassin that killed for money, but also tracks down the people who's trying to make the world dirty. So I had to make it clean. Many mistakes I made throughout the past that made me reckless, but of course, my future self can handle that, but I was wrong. After me disappearing because of everything going down, X13 went rogue, especially of him doing the most worst things than I have. The VIA explained that he was doing way more worse things than I usually do, but way more worst. I told them we can take him in, order and reason with him. They decided to agree and let me take him in alive. Throughout Blackwater, the Revenants, the Peacemakers, everything gone to hell. Others was just trying to show up, trying to make chaos or make peace in the city. It was my job to just stop it and sort it all. Find out where X13 and get out. Hell, even my other partners like Shasha and them, including the Ground Zero, was helping me throughout my own. But then I find out who was behind it all. The whole system. The whole system is about an organization that they all work with. The Revenants, the Peacemakers, they're all corruptive. Their all plan was to just keep this city for themselves. But the whole system tricked everyone. After me capturing X13, of course I reasoned with him and tried to go back. But he didn't want that reason. He said that if he goes back, the VIA would just find his files. They would just experiment and torture him. Therefore, they could find his files that he found about the VIA. They'll basically expose them with their type of files that they have. It's way more worse than any torture that you could ever imagine. Things that they did, the conducts to people, they were like the GOVs 2.0. So he ended his own life just to protect that. But he was sorry for what he has done. And of course, I was the one to myself to blame. After realizing it, that's where the Ground Zero decided to betray me and Sasha. Hank was there, the leader of the VIA, the person who told me to take in X13. And throughout it all, he had my device, the RX5. I was in shock. That device, I kept it safe and they finally found it. The RX5 is the device that you're able to use it as a corrupt power. To use it as a power, you have to activate it. Of course, that's not what they wanted. They wanted to find the X and Diamond that leads to a future hold of using that power in time. They were getting ready to execute me on sight, but of course I got saved. When I got saved and I managed to escape and managed to capture Shasha, I managed to go try and save her, but it took a little bit of hours before I found out that they were trying to device the RX5. After me locating her and actually saving her, I realized that I had to end this. It wasn't about capturing X13 and about stopping chaos. It was about taking their place so then the VIA can just take over Blackwater and they can just use it as their own power. And throughout it all, I was just dying while helping out the bad people. I was running out of time. Before I went to Blackwater to find X13, the doctors came and told me about my x-ray, that my skeleton bones were black, which has been, but also been corrupting my blood cells, including my heart. But it hasn't corrupted my brain. If it would have corrupted my brain, I'd probably not been still alive. probably would have been controlled by the power. The power that I had a long time ago wasn't just activated from the RX-5. I was being experimented. They syringed this black goo inside of me that makes me turn into some kind of monster. And I managed to control it for so long. But throughout it all, it was here. It was coming back just to hunt me again. And I was coughing out black blood, having seizures, sometimes having comas, or passing out from at least a heart attack. Every time when I use my power too much, I usually pass out, which makes me into hopeless. So even if I die, I had to do one thing. Either activate the RX-5 or destroy it. So one thing's for certain, the Reapers and I decided to reunite, and we decided to barge into the building. As a distraction, they all decided to go out without a fight. When I got over to the building and tried to find it, the RX-5 in the lab, I managed to grab it and go up the building. Of course, I was surrounded. But in the end, they knew that I was gonna just activate it, but they were wrong. Activating was the first thing I did, and look what happened in the past. Destroying it, they can never find the exit diamond, and they can never use it as their power. In the end, even if I died while using this around me, because my powers doesn't work no more, then so be it. So I destroyed it and gave it everything I got. But when it shattered, something was wrong. Of course, the blast was a little bit of devastated, but it was blasting me and tearing me apart. Something new. But when I woke up, that's when I realized that I'm not dead just yet. That I realized that this power inside of me just able to consume me. I didn't just use it, I destroyed so I can stay alive. The power was different. I was able to transform without even putting my mask on. I was able to combine my powers into some kind of magic touch. I was able to see through walls, hear people's footsteps, sometimes hear their organs, their heartbeat, their own mind. Even when they died too, I can know what happened. It's been 4 months since this all happened. The doctors have been explaining to me that it's been a fucking miracle. That somehow I'm still alive from the affection of the powers. That somehow when I destroyed the power and it corrupted me, it turned me purified. Way more than I could just use my powers. I've been testing all my powers and testing all my weapons. And I was able to just be fine. There hasn't been no pass out, no heart attacks, nothing. No affection whatsoever. I used everything I got outside to use it as an experiment. And as I know that I'm already turning into some kind of immortal. But I don't believe myself that I'm a god or a demon or a devil. Any of the things out of my league. With this power, it's just always dark and shadowy. The only thing I am is a reaper. A deadly assassin, but I don't think I'm that no more. I'm a reaper who was looking for redemption.